Hello and welcome to Middlesex Moments, the radio program from Middlesex Community College in Middletown, Meriden, and on the shoreline. I'm Stephen Minkler, Academic Dean at the college, sitting in for our president, Dr. Anna Wasesha. With me today is Diane Bordonaro, the Allied Health Coordinator at Middlesex Community College. Hi, Diane.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Glad that you could be here. What, briefly, does an Allied Health Coordinator do? What kind of projects and programs are you involved with here at Middlesex?
Well, as the Allied Health Coordinator, it is my responsibility to run workforce training programs in the healthcare field. Our programs are short-term training programs that lead to employment at the entry level. Students come into the college, they earn a certification either at a state level or a national level, and then they're ready to go to work.
Okay. How long have you been the Allied Health Coordinator at the college?
I started here in 2008. Prior to working at the college, I worked in the healthcare industry. I am a registered nurse. I've worked in acute care at a hospital for many, many years. I've also worked out in the community. I have experience in school nursing. I've done home care visits. I've done health services for college students. So it was a natural transition for me to come here and blend my experience in healthcare with education.
Okay. Yeah, so it would seem that somebody with your background, it would be a natural natural asset for us to have to show students what it means for someone to get a career in a field such as allied health.
Sure, because I really understand the industry. I can understand how the education leads to employment and what skills the students actually need when they go out into the workforce.
Okay. And I would think, too, that because of your background, you have many connections in the community that can help the program and also help your students.
That is helpful, and I'm always making new connections. You know, people change in healthcare constantly. We're always adding new employees, and it really helps to be out there working with the facilities, being involved in the actual care the patients are receiving, so that you understand, what the employers are looking for.
Okay. Now, you said that most of the programming that you supervise is shorter term.
Right.
So are we talking about a week or 2 weeks, a few months? What does that usually look like?
Most of our programs run anywhere from 6 weeks up into 10 weeks. We do have a couple longer programs that actually run 2 academic semesters. But we're really looking to get students, credentials that can get them into the workforce as quickly as possible.
Okay. And what kinds of students do you typically see? Are these people who may already have a job and they're trying to improve their skills, or are they career changers? It's kind of hard to put all the students in one
Right.
basket, but typically what kind of students do you see in your program?
Our students come from all over. We do have a lot of students who want to explore the healthcare field before they commit to a longer program, so it makes sense for them to enter a short-term training program and actually try the field out before they enroll in a degree program. We also have many moms who are coming back into the workforce to help support their families while caring for their children. Oftentimes we see students who have bachelor's degrees that are looking to get experience with hands-on patient care before enrolling in an advanced degree program. So it's really quite a mix. It's very interesting.
Okay. And students who are in these programs, I would imagine that once they go through a short-term training program, they could then go on to get their degree, whether it's an associate degree or a bachelor's degree in a similar field?
Yes, actually many of our programs can earn credit. We do have an agreement with Charter Oak State College, which allows them to get credits for the programs, even though what we're offering is a non-credit program.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, actually, we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll explore a little bit more about the types of programs that you run and what's available to students who are looking at getting into this field.
Okay.
So we'll be right back after this short break on Middlesex Moments. Welcome back to Middlesex Moments. I'm Stephen Minkler, Academic Dean at Middlesex Community College, and I've been talking with Diane Bordonaro, who's the Allied Health Coordinator here at the college, and talking about the various short-term training programs that the college offers in allied health. And Diane, the whole field of healthcare is changing around us as we see changes to what's happening in our doctor's offices and the types of information that flow between our doctor and ourselves in the hospitals. What are some of the programs that we offer here at the college that could help a student strategically place themselves to get a job after going through a program?
Sure. We have a variety of programs in the healthcare field, and a lot of students don't think they want to work in healthcare because they aren't comfortable giving hands-on patient care. For those students, we actually have programs that would be a great fit. One of those is our pharmacy technician certificate program. This program leads to national certification. All of the classes are taught by licensed pharmacists, and we run it in collaboration with the Connecticut Pharmacists Association. It's a short-term 10-week program. It runs in the evening, so students who are working in another job can easily come to classes in the evening. And when they're done, they sit for the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board National Exam, which gives them a credential which is greater than the average person applying for a pharmacy technician job.
Okay. And if a student was interested in that, how much does a program like that cost?
That program is $1,049. It does include books, and we do have a payment plan, so students who are uncomfortable with that tuition can break it into smaller payments.
Okay. And what are some other programs that we have at the college that might set somebody up to work in the healthcare field?
Another great program for students who don't want to do patient care is our medical billing and coding program. This is an intensive program that covers 2 semesters, starts in September and finishes up in May. The students learn to understand medical insurance such as Medicare, Medicaid, and Workman's Comp. They also understand using medical records. They become familiar with medical coding such as ICD-9 and ICD-10. And when they're finished, they can sit for the Certified Professional Coder exam with the American Academy of Professional Coders.
Okay, so that all sounds kind of complicated, but it sounds like what you're saying is that there are some national standards for this because, the way healthcare information is changing, I can't imagine that every hospital has their own system and every doctor's office does, so there's got to be some standard by which students learn this work, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we're striving to get them the skills that they can step into any office or facility and be ready to work.
Okay. Do they need to know any science or IT kind of work before entering a program like this?
They do not. We teach them all of medical terminology. We teach them a computer skills class, so they can certainly come into the program with no experience in computer work or in the healthcare field, and when they're done, they should be set up well to get a job.
Okay. And what kind of jobs might they see?
A lot of times they go to work in an office doing the actual coding or processing insurance payments. They can actually work from home. There are also coding organizations where the hospitals outsource the medical billing and the coding to the organization.
Okay. And much of the work that they would do would actually go between the doctor's office or the hospital and the insurance agency and maybe Medicare if they are under the Medicare program?
Right, sure. Anything from Medicare, Medicaid, Workman's Comp, and our private insurance companies like Anthem, Blue Cross, Blue Shield.
Okay. And for tuition, how much is the medical coding and billing program at Middlesex?
The medical billing and coding is $3,295. Again, that's broken into payments. It covers a couple of semesters. Students do not have to pay that all up front.
Okay. Now, are there some students who could benefit from, say, federal return-to-work programs, such as WIA and other programs like that? Are any of the students in our non-credit allied health programs eligible for those dollars?
Sure. All of our programs are eligible for WIA funds, which are Workforce Investment Act funds. To access those funds, the student would just visit a local Connecticut Works office. They would be screened to determine if they're eligible. Most students are eligible if they're unemployed or if they're underemployed. For example, a student who's working in a minimum wage job who has potential to earn more money could still be eligible even though they're working at the time they apply.
Okay. So are there other programs that are a little more not direct hands-on patient care programs that we offer at the college?
We do offer programs that are similar to hands-on patient care, but not giving as personal care as some of the nursing care programs are. One of them is a Human Services Assistant Program, where students are trained to work in a group home or as a mentor with someone who needs daily assistance. That program is one of our popular programs. It runs during the day out of our Meriden Center, and when students are done, they go out and get a job helping underprivileged people.
Okay. And how about one of the programs that we're well known for is the Certified Nurse Aide Program, and how does that work?
The Certified Nurse Aide Program is a program that we have. It's approved by Department of Public Health, and when students finish, they are eligible to sit for the state certification exam, and they're placed on the Nurse Aide Registry. We take care of all of that for the students, so they don't have any testing sites to go to or registry applications to handle. In this program, students learn the skills and knowledge they need to actually take care of patients. Most of the graduates end up working in long-term care facilities. Some of our graduates actually do go out and work in home care where they can take take care of patients one-on-one. This is a great program because students spend 50% of their program in the nursing home actually giving patient care. Those students who don't like sitting in a classroom, we prefer to learn by doing, actually prefer this program because there's a lot of learning as you go skills.
Okay. And what kinds of facilities work with our students and with the program? Where would a student go to do their clinical internship?
We have several facilities here in Middletown that take our students, and we rotate through them depending on their availability and the student's schedule. We also have a couple facilities down at the Shoreline that students can go to if students are coming from that area. We run classes in Middletown. We run classes out of the old Saybrook Town Hall, and we run classes at our Meriden Center. They're offered day and evening, so we try to offer a schedule that will meet just about anybody's needs.
Okay. And in a field like this, once a student completes this program, makes them eligible to sit for the registry, and if they're successful in landing a job, what kind of pay scale is involved in work like being a CNA?
Well, what we're finding in the healthcare field is that graduates of our program are getting jobs per diem, which means they're working as needed. This is an opportunity for the employer to try out the new employee and see if they're a good fit, see if they're a good worker, see if they have good work ethics. And once they have that understanding, they move the employee into a regular position. Okay. Entry level or starting salaries tend to be around $11.50 an hour. Students can quickly move up or earn more salary by picking up extra shifts. There are differentials for working evenings or weekends, and some of the facilities will actually offer on-call pay where you come in and you pick up an extra shift that you weren't scheduled for. You can make an extra $5 an hour. So there is an opportunity to actually earn a decent income as a CNA.
Okay. And we'll repeat this a couple times, but if someone was interested in pharmacy tech and certified nurse's aide and the other programs, how would they get in touch with the college? Are you the best person to call?
The best thing to do is call our continuing education office. That number is 860-343-5865. If you can't get someone to pick up, or if the phone isn't answering, you can leave a message and we'll get right back to you. There is no admission testing required. You don't have to fill out an application. You just come in and sign up for the class.
Okay. And again, we're talking with Diane Bordonaro, the Allied Health Coordinator at Middlesex Community College, and I'm Stephen Minkler, the Academic Dean at the college. And we're talking about the variety of short-term training programs available to students in the allied health field. Diane, we've talked a little about pharmacy tech, certified nurse's aide, and the human services assistant programs and the potential jobs that are there for students. But can students also then progress into getting their associate degree or baccalaureate degree in these fields once they've completed the short-term certificate?
They can get their baccalaureate or associate's degree in a related field. These fields are designated as short-term training because there is no degree for them. But if they wish to go on, for example, many of our certified nurse aides go on to earn a nursing degree. They get an associate's degree from a community college and their RN license from the state and can work, as a registered nurse. In addition, we see a lot of our human services assistant students coming back for our human services program, which means that they earn an associate's degree in the human services or social work field, and they can work in agencies that assist people who have special needs. Pharmacy technician students can actually go on and earn a master's degree as a pharmacist. It's a very involved program. It's a lengthy program, but students who are interested in that field are very dedicated and willing to put in the time and the work.
Okay. So putting in the time and the work, I think those are the first two pieces of advice you might give a student. Yeah. What else would you be looking in a student who is interested in these programs? Putting in the time, being interested, are there other motivations that come into play when considering a program like this?
Well, students always have to consider what's going on in their family life. They need to be ready to come back to school to be successful. So we always encourage them to make sure they have child care in place, be sure they have support at home. The families of our students are very, very supportive in helping them get through the program. It's short term. They're willing to, work with them, assist them with transportation needs or child care needs, to make sure they're successful.
Okay. So making sure that school is part of the balance of their entire life is important.
Right. And the goal is to earn that certificate.
Right.
Yeah.
So it does become something that has to be a priority for many people if that means unlocking the door to the next job or the next level of what they want to do with their lives.
Right, exactly. The students have to be dedicated, and we find that, most of our students really want, to take that step to become a professional in the field. They want to work, in a field where they make a difference to the people they care for.
Okay. So I think after we're going to take a short break, and after the break, we do have some more programs to explore in the allied health area here at Middlesex Community College. Again, for anybody who would like more information about these programs, certainly visit our website, mxcc.edu. You could phone the Continuing Education Office at the college at 860-343-5865. And certainly, we'd love to have you visit us, our main campus at 100 Training Hill Road here in Middletown, and also our Meriden Center on West Main Street in Meriden. So we'll take a short break and be back in a minute. This is Middlesex Moments from Middlesex Community College. Welcome back to Middlesex Moments at Middlesex Community College. I'm Steve Minkler, the Academic Dean, and talking today with Diane Bordonaro, the Allied Health Coordinator at Middlesex. Before the break, we talked about a number of allied health programs at the college which prepare students for working in what you might typically think of as a hospital or a doctor's office. But Diane, I know we have other programs that aren't quite in that same realm, and so what else do we have to offer students who are interested in the allied health area?
Sure, part of the continuing education's department responsibility is to offer all sorts of training for students, and we do have a program coming up soon. It's the Personal Trainer Certificate Program. This program teaches students to work as personal trainers in a gym such as a Planet Fitness or a WOW. It's a great program because the students are actually in class in the morning learning the knowledge they need to work with the clients, and then in the afternoon they go to a local gym and actually learn the equipment and how to introduce clients to the equipment and help them get the best results from their work. Okay. This program's coming up soon. We have a free orientation session on February 2nd at 6 p.m. So if you think you might be interested, you can come to our free orientation session, hear a little bit more, and decide if it's the right program for you. And then the full program starts on February 28th. It runs on Saturdays for 9 weeks, and then you're ready to sit for the national exam. So again, you become nationally certified through this program. You can take that certification with you to any state you move in.
And that orientation, that's here at our Middletown campus?
That orientation is here at our Middletown campus. It's going to be in room 606 of Chapman Hall. And again, no charge. If you can sign up, that's great. But if you prefer to just walk in, we'll be here and you can sit through the orientation. It'll take about an hour.
Okay. Well, I think the great thing is programs like the ones that we're talking about today don't follow necessarily a traditional college semester. So just because you think, classes are starting soon, some of these classes do, but they actually begin, say, sometime in the middle of the semester, February or March in some cases, right?
Sure, we know that not everybody's life can follow an academic calendar, and that sometimes you're ready to start school, when it's convenient for you. So we try to have classes starting at different times during the year to accommodate everybody. Our next program is our Veterinary Assistant Certificate Program. That program is starting on March 9th. So it'll start in March and it'll finish up the end of July.
Talk more about that program. Is all of that program taught here on campus?
Well, that's one of our more popular programs, and we run this in collaboration with the Connecticut Valley Veterinary Associates. So the program is taught here on campus and at a local veterinary office. The students, again, learn the knowledge they need in the classrooms here on the campus, and then they do their clinical training at Piper Memorial Veterinary Hospital down the road. Students, when they go to the veterinary hospital, are broken into small groups. There's only 6 students in a clinical section, so they get plenty of time and a lot of attention as they work with the animals. We teach them all the skills they need to assist the veterinarians and the veterinary technicians in caring for the animals, and then we also teach them the skills they need to support the practices of the hospital. For example, they learn, how to assist with x-rays. They learn how to prepare surgical instruments for the operations. They are learning how to collect lab samples and process them, so when they send them to the lab, that we can get the results of those. So there's a lot more to it than just, caring for the animals or working with the animals. There's many other responsibilities.
And how many hours does that program take?
That program is a 20 it's a 20-week program, and students are in class 8 hours a week for 20 weeks. They do 4 hours of classroom work in the evening on Monday and Wednesday evening, and then they sign up for a 4-hour clinical training each week.
Okay. And a student who completes that is positioning themselves to become a veterinary assistant at a vet practice or at a veterinary hospital.
Certainly, students can work at a veterinary hospital, but there's also other areas. Some of our students go on to work in a pet store or a kennel. We do have students who might want to work in a lab research facility. A lot of the lab facilities have animals, and they need people to care for them there. So there are other opportunities rather than just a veterinary hospital.
Okay. And at this time, do you have to be licensed to do that kind of work?
No, in the state of Connecticut, there is no requirement for licensure or certification. What we find is that the veterinarians prefer to hire our students because they have a lot of knowledge and skills coming into the position. So we've had very good luck with our students finding work out in the field.
Okay. And how might that program work with degree programs here at the college?
Well, the college also offers an associate's degree in the veterinary technician field, and these two programs collaborate very closely. This class, or this program, actually meets the education requirements of Vet 100, which is one of our first, classes the students take in the veterinary technician program. So the students are learning the same information. They are able to get credit for that, and they have one step ahead, when they enroll in the vet tech program if they choose to do so.
Okay. So Diane, if we're looking at the future of potential allied health programs at Middlesex Community College, what are some things you see on the horizon? Maybe some jobs that might need some additional training that the college could be able to offer students and that might be attractive to students?
Well, we're always looking to explore new opportunities in the healthcare field, and we are in contact with the employers out there, to see what's up and coming. We did develop a patient care technician program based on this very, situation where we found that, our certified nurse aides didn't quite have the skills they needed to go work as a nurse aide in a hospital. So we worked closely with the nurse educators in the hospital to develop a program that would meet those needs. Students who are certified nurse aides can come back to us, gain additional skills, gain additional knowledge to care for acute care patients, just going to the OR or coming back from the OR, patients who are sicker than the patients they see in long-term care. So those are the type of experiences we are looking for to develop for our students. Once you have some education, what more do you need to know to get the next step in your career ladder?
Okay. So I guess it's fair to say that we build programs that meet students' needs but also meet the needs of employers. So if there were a healthcare employer out there who was looking for us to work with them to package some training, that's something that they might be interested in calling us about, they would contact continuing education here at the college?
They could contact continuing education, or they could call my direct line. My direct line is 860-343-5716. We'd be happy to talk with anybody about any future programming or meeting the needs of even their current employees.
Okay. And that's the number for Diane Bordonaro, who is the Allied Health Coordinator here at Middlesex Community College. Diane, I think just in our last few minutes, I know you are scheduled to teach a class yourself this semester. What is that class? Tell us about what's going to happen in that class.
Sure. I teach a class called Investigations in Health Careers, and I co-teach this with Dr. Judy Wallace, who's a physical therapist. We're a great team because I have the nursing background as a registered nurse, and she has the allied health background as a physical therapist. This course actually allows students to explore careers in healthcare. So if you want to work in the healthcare field but you're not sure what you want to do, you can come take this class. We do a lot of career exploration. We talk about the needs of the healthcare industry. We look at what the job demand is out there and what the salaries are for each healthcare field. One of the exciting parts of this class is that students actually go out on a job shadowing experience. They pick a career they're interested in, and then Dr. Wallace and I will coordinate a shadowing experience for them. So it's all set up for them, and it allows them to actually be out there in the field looking at what the professionals do and deciding if this is something they could see themselves doing in the future.
Okay. And is this a class you've taught before?
Judy and I have been teaching this for probably 2 or 3 years now. We do it every semester, and we really enjoy it. Our students are great students. They're very serious about what's going on, and healthcare changes all the time. So it's every semester that we teach, the class evolves a little bit. There's always something new happening. So it's really exciting for us too, because we get to stay current with what's going on out there in the world.
Okay. And I may be putting you on the spot a little bit, but can you think of maybe what the number one question is that students ask you about in healthcare? So it could be a student in our CNA program, or maybe a student in your investigations class, or somebody just calling you out of the blue.
Yeah.
What's maybe the first question that comes to mind?
The first question I usually get is, I want a job in healthcare and they aren't sure what they want to do. And at that point, we sit down, we go through the programs, we look at what they want to do, what their needs are, what they can see themselves doing. Do you want to do direct patient care, or do you want to work in healthcare, but you can't see yourself actually helping someone, with their personal care? Those are the things that we try to explore. Where is that best fit? And I got a lot of students who call and say, I need to go back to school. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, and can you help me? Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know for me, the reason I'm a doctor in education and not a medical doctor is I can't stand the sight of blood. So I knew none of this would be for me.
Yeah.
So we've talked about quite a few programs here in the allied health area at Middlesex Community College. And if we can kind of quickly tick off the names of those programs once again, Diane?
Sure. We have the Pharmacy Technician Certificate Program, our Certified Nurse Aide Program, our Patient Care Technician Program. We also have our Human Services Assistant Program and our Medical Billing and Coding Certificate Program. We have the Veterinary Assistant Program starting soon, and again, our Personal Trainer Certificate Program will be starting on February 28th.
Okay, and you had some specific dates in there, so once again?
Personal Trainer Certificate Program starting February 28th, Veterinary Assistant Certificate Program starting on March 9th, and our Certified Nurse Aide Program, we have classes starting every month.
Okay, and the personal trainer, there's an orientation on?
Free orientation for students who may be interested or want to know more is on February 2nd at 6 p.m. in Chapman Hall, room 606.
Okay, great. I'd like to thank my guest, Diane Bordonaro, the Allied Health Coordinator here at Middlesex Community College, and for joining us for today's episode of Middlesex Moments. I'm Stephen Minkler, Academic Dean at the college, again bringing greetings on behalf of our president, Dr. Anna Wasesha. We invite you to learn more about our programs and the college by visiting us online at mxcc.edu. If you're interested in any of the programs you heard about in today's program, call Continuing Education at 860-343-5865. And certainly we invite you to visit us at our main campus in Middletown, our Meriden Center on West Main Street, and we hope to see you soon. Again, this is Stephen Minkler from Middlesex Moments at Middlesex Community College.